me is a dream, but as soon as me appears, that me becomes reality. So wanting more, to get something more, to feel better, or even like that possibility becomes reality. I can do something, I can get more, I can achieve something, becomes reality. Then seeking energy almost like accelerate more. And within the apparent reality of me, with others, with society, and everything becomes so real. But actually, there is no reality.
Welcome to Letting Go and the Greatest Secret, where we explore the end of your suffering and the beginning of lasting happiness. I'm Hale Dwoskin, and today I'll be joined by Naho Owada. Naho was a supersensitive child with a strong agitation without reason. When she first heard this non-dual message, she knew that this was what had been longed for. She began speaking and sharing around the world in 2013, including the temples of the world's most renowned Buddhists of Japan. She has not stopped since. Would you mind just sharing a little bit about the story, even though the story has no relevance to what is?
So when I was before get to one, I was really already like before, just maybe I was born. I heard from my mom, and she said that I was a super sensitive baby. And then when I was in how do you say baby car set. In a Buset, I was really frightened and a super nervous baby. And when I was 3 or turned into 3 or 5, I forgot. My mom told me. I told her I want to stop living. I was really constantly like I kind of remember like I wasn't really secure, and I was really wasn't comfortable. And since then, that uncomfortableness, I knew that comfortableness wasn't connected to story. So from there, become teenager, 20, and that sense of uncomfortableness or sense of unease or agitation was constantly like I felt constantly constantly there, and I always wanted to find why I feel that way, but I never find that reason. Of course, that wasn't to come from the story. So around when I was 25, I went to Boston to study macrobiotic, and I met one guy. He just had an awakening experience, and he explained what's about similar to non-duality. And then he said that all suffering comes from phantom self, which is separate me or something like that, he said. And then from there, I just straight away, I just clicked. And I didn't start. I went to Boston to study macrobiotic, but I didn't study macrobiotic. And I listened to his talk, or we had a conversation while a conference was happening. So from there, just my seeking started. And then after that, I read Tony Parsons' book. And then straight away I flew to London, and then but then I didn't understand anything for about 2 years or so because it didn't have so much words. And then I was in Japan, and then I didn't know any spirituality or I didn't do any practice. So but since then seeking happened. Then it just slowly started to understanding happened, and then slowly that seeking energy started to relax. But then until end, there's no end, but the apparent end, that maybe I can, and if I can seek a little bit more, if I can understand a little bit more, maybe I can get this. Never disappear. This idea never stopped. But then while I was walking on the street, and then suddenly it just becomes so obvious, and yeah. So, yes, that was the story.
That's a good story. When, during the period after you met Tony, did Naho go through a period where there was, as Tony puts it, meing and being?
Oh, yes. So many years. I don't know. I don't remember, but yes, many times.
Yes. So there was a back and forth until it just stopped.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
But
go
I
ahead.
think me in being is almost like me. It's like a me in being is still all me. Because
Yes.
me thinking that still like I can get.
Right. No, is that because if as long as there's meaning and being, that's still contained within the story of me.
Exactly. Yes.
Yes. And so I wrote down a bunch of questions just because one of the things that happens here when I focus on this, there's just no thinking. Actually, there's rarely much thinking, but there's especially not much thinking when focusing on this. I wrote down a couple of questions, which I may need to refer to. But one I remember, and a good place to start is often when you do your meetings on Zoom, or I watch them also in person, you start out with just a short message. So can we start there? Can you just share the message, however it comes through at the moment?
Yes, of course, yes. So even like this isn't even not message, because it's not come from somebody to somebody. It's just this sound is simply appearing, but this apparent message is pointing to is about obviousness of being nothing, being everything. There is only being nothing, being everything. There is only this, and then within that, so that is all there is. So, but this is unknowable. It can't be known. How much you understand this, how much you study, nobody knows. It's mystery, but there is only mystery. So but within this mystery, apparent me appears. This me feels I am somebody, I am separate, I am living with my own effort and with my own will, and I'm moving through in time and space, and I am experiencing life. That's me appears. Life appears as me, but as soon as me appears, this kind of thing becomes reality. So almost like me has own reality, and then me, as soon as the separation appears, even whether it's noticed or not, a sense of agitation or feeling of not quite right appears because of that separation. So me start seek to get something to more become better, or to get more better experience, or to get more. That kind of appearance appears. This is all about come from that this isn't enough. So that kind of thing appears, but actually this me isn't real, isn't something. There is no something. There is only nothing being everything. So that what I said isn't really happening, but seemingly apparent me's reality is happening. So how can I say, this suggestion is that there's nothing being everything, and this is enough. This is not for somebody, but this is not for something, because there is no something, but just a completely mystery. But how can I say, it's enough.
I really resonate with that enough, because the mind, or the me, is perpetually. It seems like every second,
Exactly.
more, different.
Yes, yes.
And that's all part of the dream, isn't it?
Exactly. Me is a dream, but as soon as me appears, that me becomes reality. So wanting more, to get something more, to feel better, or even like that possibility becomes reality. I can do something, I can get more, I can achieve something, becomes reality. Then it's seeking energy, almost like accelerate more. And within the apparent reality of me, with others, with society, and everything becomes so real. But
Yes.
actually, there is no reality.
Yes. My original mentor, a man named Lester Levinson, used to say, first it is seen that everything is a dream, and then it is seen that it's a dream that never really was.
Exactly, yes.
Yeah, could you comment on that?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Yes. So dream is also like a description, like how can I say, example, we can say, like exactly like a same as dream at night. It's seemingly happening but never happened. So exactly the same. It seemingly means like happening, almost like a life is happening, like a means reality. I am somebody, I am living, I am doing, is so real, and that reality exists, almost like I am here, I am working, I go to like go out, or any experiences, any event, seemingly so real, but actually that is whole thing isn't happening. It's simply nothing being everything, nothing's appearing as everything. So it's really nothing is happening.
That's actually a relief.
Some people say that so this message is not, how can I say, it's not good for me, but some apparent me said, oh, actually my me feels good with this.
Right. Yeah, but don't some me's fight like hell against the message?
Oh yeah. Sometimes yes. So this is really, if you heard, it's not me's hearing, because me doesn't exist, and then me is almost like a conceptual, like understanding. I know. So me can't hear this message. So when me hear this message, sometimes like a really fight or scared or threatened with this message, because it feels it knows, it feels like a threatened that is its existence, but actually it doesn't exist. So really, but it's really frightening sometimes for the me.
Yes, it can be very frightening for the me. I've seen that, how frightened the me's get. And that's even with when there's still some teaching left. It's still a very frightening message, because the again, it, freedom is not for the me; it's from the me.
Mm, mm. Yes, yes. But interesting thing is that it's already free.
Yes,
Nobody is like bounded by me, because there is no me. But almost like when while me is like real, me wants to run away from me, or me think, oh, I want to get rid of my me. But actually, that never be bounded. There is no me. So when that's and everything becomes obvious, and then it's been seen, then nothing ever bounded. It's always boundless.
Yes, yes. Yes, because if you can gain, if it's something that can be gained, would you agree with this? If it's something that can be gained, then it can be lost. But in reality, there's nothing to gain and nothing to lose. Is that another
Exactly.
way of saying the same thing?
Exactly, yes. Nothing to gain, nothing to lose. Almost like there's nothing. Already nothing. To me, it feels like I am somebody, something else. It's real. So to me, there is something to get. It's reality too.
Yes, yes. And the seeking itself, doesn't this, well, first off, there's no one to choose to seek. It just is a spontaneous, again, I'm just saying this, please disagree if you disagree. It's a spontaneous happening or apparent happening, but there's no one doing the seeking. Isn't this seeking empty too?
Yes, of course. It's really not happening, but seemingly happening. But that appearance is, of course, nothing appearing as that, because there is only nothing being everything. So everything is as that appearance, only that. But that is so mystery. Nobody knows. There is nobody, but
Right.
yes, nothing being me.
Yes. Yes. And isn't it also so that as long as there's any sense of understanding,
Yes,
that's not it.
yes,
Because
exactly, yes.
if you think you understand, then there's still a you.
Exactly. Exactly, yes. But if me think I understood, of course, it's nothing to do with understanding, because understanding is simply appearing for nobody. So understanding can appear, like a recognition can appear, but it's nothing to do with me. It's not for me. It's not me. It's understanding.
Yes. So understanding can arise, but if there's anyone taking ownership of it, that's where there's still confusion.
Exactly, yes. But me's energy wants to own everything. So this
Yes. I need it, it's mine.
it's funny appearance. It's not really owning, but me think I have.
Yes. Well, doesn't me also think I do?
Exactly, yes. Me feels I am experiencing life, but there is nobody who can experience life. There is nobody there is nobody. It's simply happening. There is no experience.
So that's often hard for people to recognize. There is no experience, because as long as there's a me, there is the sense of experience.
Mm-hmm.
So can you say more about that?
Yes. So when that's when me is appearing, me feels I am somebody, I am living and I am moving through time and space. So almost like a feeling the body is like I am body, or I am inside of the body. That's how me feels. So from there, me feels experiencing like a body experience is my experience. So from there, so me is in time and moving, and I am center in a space and I'm separate. It's almost this is already me's experience. So from this experience, other experiences I went to somewhere, or I move, or experience this, or everything. So almost like a body's experience. How can I say? Lived experience is me's reality. but that whole thing is a dream. There is no experience. Simply nothing being everything. And then it's not, there is no separation. So me feels I am somebody separate from life. I am moving. That is a dream.
So even, you hear all this stuff about be here now. Even that, it's just a reinforcement of the dream, isn't it? Who's going to be here now? And where is this here and now? That
This is so funny because there's nobody to be there's nobody, and there's no now and here, so nothing.
So another place where people get caught is this whole sense of or wanting to understand, is there free will or predetermination, or is there either? And I wanted to have you explain that.
Yes, free will and I forgot what was that.
Predetermination.
Predetermination. So
Yes.
so that often we hear that idea, but both doesn't exist, of course, because there is nobody who can have a free will and choice. So that doesn't exist. And the predetermination is come from the idea there is time. There is no time. Simply just sound is appearing now, sensation and this light, and everything is simply appearing now. There is no now, but just simply happening. So there, it's this doesn't. It's not being determined. It's impossible to know. There's nothing we can know.
Yes, yes. And there is just another way, a way of expressing it that I've heard that I think is clear sometimes, is that there's this only what is apparently happening to no one. Is that another way of saying it?
Oh yes, yes. So what is happening is again, it's almost like how can I say, happening and not happening, nothing being everything, and it's there is no two to happen to. So there is only nothing being everything, and it's not something. It's not certain thing. So this is pointing to is nothing being everything, and it's boundlessness, and can't be known. It's not bounded.
And so if that's the case, then everything, even the appearance of the person, isn't that already everything and nothing? The same,
Yes,
everything
yes,
and that.
yes, yes. So it's already doesn't exist, and then nothing exists. So of course me doesn't exist. But appearance, for example, that like this computer, the tree, room, the wall is appearance, but me really doesn't exist. Almost like a functioning that feels I am somebody. It really doesn't exist. It's like a dream at night.
Yes, yes. And another way to express that is that this is, most people are aware that they get lost in stories, but they don't realize that even that's part of the story, that they get lost in stories is just another story. How can you, would you explain that? Or
Yes, yes, yes. Yes, sometimes me say like sometimes somebody say, "Oh, I lost in the story."
right.
But actually, I exist. I am somebody is a dream. There is nobody.
Yes, yes. So that is the story. That is the
That
main
is the
story.
Story and then whole story and then going down.
Yeah. So I know you don't give advice for obvious reasons. Who are you going to give advice to?
Yes.
Yeah. Advice can only be given to something that isn't real. Is that it? Or
Exactly, yes. And also, whatever it's happening, it's almost like only that is only happening. It's not whatever that problem or whatever that story is happening. That's what is happening. Can't be any other way. And also, it's not really happening, and doesn't need to be changed. It's really perfect. Nothing need to be changed. So in that also, it's like really and also this is a mystery, nobody can give the advice.
yes, yes. Because again, advice has to do with, doesn't all advice have to do with believing in someone who exists in time?
Yes, but yes, so exactly, yes. So I forgot, what did you say?
We'll see if I can remember it. Uh, it isn't advice or teaching, or isn't all that based on the assumption that there's a real someone who
Exactly,
exists in time?
yes. So real someone, it doesn't exist. Realness, that it doesn't exist anywhere. So simply, for example, this conversation is simply happening, but there is no realness. It's like but in the me's reality, everything becomes real. Oh, I am somebody. I am speaking onto the Zoom meeting. That becomes real, but there is no realness.
Yeah, that's a hard one for people. What do you mean nothing's real?
It's interesting, like it's like a planet, like exists like a two different reality.
Right,
No,
right.
I exist. No.
Yeah. Well, so what you're saying though is there's no reality.
No reality, yes.
Yes.
Nothing exists. So I exist is a dream.
Yes. So this may be a silly question because it's a why question, but and I don't think we kind of talked about this. So why is this appearance of me so persistent for most?
Because me energy is like uh, uh, feeling feeling real and feeling separate, and also me is bounded in time. I was born, I'm gonna die one day, so between that time me try to live and then try to make how can I say, make the life. So from that sense of separation, from the lack appears, and then from there me try to get or try to fix something. So moving to movements is constantly happening, and then this is just as it's not really happening, but seemingly that, oh, it's almost like me is constantly try to survive.
Yes.
So this movement is come from that sense of self, try to survive. That surviving energy is a seeking.
Yes. 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 So basically, there is just this spontaneous appearance
Exactly, yes.
signifying nothing.
Uh-huh.
Oh, one thing we haven't talked about that is the absence of meaning. Can you talk about that?
Oh, yes. So meaning is come from that conceptual reality, which is come from I am living I. it's come from me. So in the me's reality, it has meaning and a purpose and a reason and a cause and effect, or so many like a complicated idea appears because that's how me's reality is constructed. But nothing in everything doesn't have any meaning. There is no purpose. There is nothing, nowhere to go, and just a spontaneous appearance.
So does that mean there's no cause also?
There is no cause. There is only it's always almost like immediacy, immediate being this. So there's no cause.
Let's see. Oh, one thing that I've noticed, that when I listen to non-true speakers who are speaking from they're not really speaking, but that are sharing this message, or where the sharing is happening, there is this energetic to it. Can you talk a little bit about the energy of it?
Yes. So everything is energy, but this message is so energetic because usually some messages, it's not this message, other message. For example, like someone to someone, or teaching, or some the message that to get to say somebody is like from somebody to somebody. So almost like in the me's reality, me's speaking and me's hearing. But this message is nothing, come from nothing, and then going back to nothing. It's not really even message. So me can't hear. This message is completely, it's not speaking to somebody because it doesn't exist, and it's nobody's speaking. So it's almost like when this message is heard, it's not in the mind, or me can't hear this message because it doesn't exist. So almost like a resonance, some knowing or some resonance, and this resonance is sometimes really strong. That sense, it's very energetic.
So it's basically nothing resonating with nothing.
apparently
Yes.
resonation. I can't say this word apparently.
But I'm sure our audience, some people probably think we're crazy, but but other people are experiencing just an openness to this that they can't really explain, and that's not their openness, is it? It's just, again, I don't know how else to explain it except maybe nothing resonating with nothing, but it does seem to happen, apparently.
Yes. 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 So there is no reason, and it's not really somebody's resonance. It's just resonance can appear, and it's sometimes really strong. And but it's really it's not personal, but sometimes really to the somebody, it's really strong.
So isn't it also what happens is, as this is recognized, there's this recognition for no one that that there never really was
Yes,
a separate individual. It only
exactly.
appeared that way.
Exactly. So in the end, there's no end. But when that becomes obvious, what's been obvious is that nobody ever existed. It's impossible. Nobody. It's so becomes so obvious. Nobody
Yes.
ever existed, and it's simply life is happening.
Yeah, I wish I could do podcasts in silence. Sometimes it's not nice to just let it all drop away and not try to discuss it. So, is there any parting message that comes up in this
Pardon?
moment? Any
Oh
parting message?
no. Just the laughing is happening.
Oh, I actually did think of one other thing that I wanted you to speak about. Can you talk about how this is already unconditional love?
Oh yes. So this is so unconditional. It's already so free, and then it can appear as anything. There is no condition. It's not bounded, and it just even like that love appears naturally. But even like I can't explain. Just the words appears, but it's unconditional. Everything that is love. But when you say love, it's almost like a almost like fixed. But it's not that. It's like a boundlessness. It's unconditional.
I hope you enjoyed our conversation with Naho Owada. You can learn more about Naho at www.nahoowada.com. That's NAHOOWADA.com. If you've enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe so you can have immediate access to future episodes. Please give us a 5-star rating and share it with the people you care about. If you'd like to learn more about my work, my mentor Lester Levinson's work, and the Sedona Method, please visit www.sedona.com. As you explore our site, you'll learn the key to lasting happiness, success, peace, and emotional well-being. We have books, courses, events, and plenty of free material to explore. Again, go to sedona.com. That's SEDONA.com. Thank you for being here, and we'll catch you on the next episode of Letting Go and the Greatest Secret.